Hi, class. Hola, clase. This is Professor Laney. I am here to share with you the syllabus and Canvas course shell for Child Development 107. This could be any format. This could be 8 weeks, 16 weeks, hybrid. This could be asynchronous. So I do things very, very similar every year. So I want to make sure that you guys, no matter the format, can understand what's how I set things up and things like that. So first of all, this is our homepage for the school. And if you've never been to Canvas before, right here at sccollege.edu, go right to Canvas. Super easy. There's a bunch of different ways to do anything, whether it's any command, control, click. There's keyboards, there's drop downs, there's all kinds of different things. But I try to do maybe show one or two different options as we go forward. This is my dashboard. I teach the semester which is fall 25, but this could be any semester that you're listening to this or watching this. Two sections of 107, another one at the 8 week mark. This is a class that's just for us teachers and everybody who works in this division. And then I teach Child Development 202, which is Intro to Special Needs, and APCD, which is Apprenticeship and Child Development. So these are two very the same classes, but one's for apprenticeship students who are already working 29.5 hours per week. If that is interesting for you to take classes and get paid to work with kids immediately, it's an 18-month program and it's fantastic. So we're going to start here. I'm going to actually just pull up this one. Notice that they're both green. That's my color. I like color coding everything. Some people are really into that. I'm like moderately into that. So a green to me is what for 107 because it's the start. We talk about before babies are made, then when babies are born, and then all the way through. So green and growing. So that's why I put it. So a little bit different colors, and I do them a little bit different in terms of this graphic that I make here in Canva. So I'm just going to click on here. If you'll notice here, this is called the Canvas navigation panel. And once I click on it, you're going to see another one that's not a color, but you'll see this green color turn to blue if you're taking classes at SEC. Green because it's the district. We have this like fabulous 90s palette right here, green and yellow. Ugh. And then if you're taking classes at SAC, it's red. So watch this. I'm going to click that once. You can already see here that I have one message waiting for me in the inbox, which, hey, that's not bad. It's 8:15. I've gotten through most of them today. So this, again, this is your dashboard. This will show you all your classes. We'll go back. And if you click here, you'll see every course that you've either ever taken or will take. I'll show you. I just got, these are usually your current courses. You're seeing this here. This right here is CDV 202, then see the section numbers 91, 93 right here, 202, APCDs over here. And then this division resources, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you'll see things that are professor only, and then I'll try to differentiate between the two. So you won't exactly see what my dashboard's different than yours. So depending on the classes you'll take, you'll have dashboards. And I have more down here too. So over here is your to-do list. You're going to see, look at my to-do list involves grading. So over here, I have to grade all these things, which is great because it's Thursday of the first week, and that means that a lot of people turn in stuff, which is awesome. And then it'll tell me 5 more and then coming up. So if this overwhelms you, just click off that or ignore it. Sometimes I'll look at that and it'll say 95 more, and I'm like, bro. So anyways, starting in here, watch the this turn blue, which is awesome. Then this one right here that's white background is called the course navigation panel. Now, again, you're seeing this as the professor thing. You're going to see some extra stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and click view as a student. And then it puts this like, oh, I don't know, pink or lilac bar at the bottom. So now it's a little bit more specific to what you guys see. Okay. So again, over here, because this is like pretend for me, it doesn't have my picture. My picture disappeared. This is where you change your picture. I do require a picture by the end of week 1, or else I don't grade your stuff. I'll grade week 1, but then I'm going to stop. If you can see my picture, I should be able to see yours. Now, again, I do put some parameters in there in the welcome module, and I'll show those to you. Like, show me your face, shoulder, like pretend we're like looking for, eventually looking for a career. If you show me that, like, spring break 2017 in Mazatlan, and you're like way down the beach, it's not helping. So make sure your picture's in there. it shows me that you're an actual student. We do still do have fraudulent students here, and we're trying to make sure that they're not taking any spots in any of your classes. So we are very specific about that. You'll also see this is our homepage. I create my own graphics, like I said, and I make everything, try to make it as clean and navigatable and predictable as possible. I do make mistakes, so we'll talk about that later. When you find a mistake, just let me know. So the most recent announcement will be here. This is me hosting this Zoom meeting. Nobody has to attend a Zoom meeting for me to record it and post it. So sometimes if I'm planning on doing something, I'll just invite you guys. And if you make it, great. If not, I'll post it anyway. Fair? Great. So again, that's how we get to our dashboard. And of course, calendar is pretty awesome. We'll talk about that later. Inbox is how you message me or your classmates, right? So you can go, a lot of people never use this. I won't be able to see it because I'm just showing you like a version of it. But look at that, it turned green again because that goes back to the district, which is the district pays for um, Canvas out of your fees. So the district owns Canvas, but then there's two schools that manage Canvas on their own. Also, history is pretty rad. It might not show a lot here because it'll tell me if I was in a course over here on a different page on what date. It's awesome. You can click through here if you say, wait, where was that assignment? Use the history. The Student Support Hub is pretty awesome. I literally called Canvas yesterday because something wasn't going right. And then she's like, oh, we figured it out together and you reminded me how this works. So when you click Student Support Hub, you're going to see all these different things. Yes, we have tutoring for child development. Yes, we have support services. I mean, honestly, there's more money for students than there is for faculty. So make sure if you're like you need a little bit of help here and there, just ask, right? Student help desk is like they'll help you with admissions records, they'll help you with Canvas, they'll all this different stuff. So Canvas guides are right here too. It'll take you right to their website. And then it's, of course, I'm signed out. But look at this. There's all these announcements, introductions. How do you make this? How do you do this? All this stuff. You know, I'm so surprised when there's this much information. Plus, this isn't even YouTube. There's so much stuff out there, and a lot of people don't even like look for it. And it's kind of like, come on, okay. Like I'm good at Canvas, but again, like I said, I make mistakes. So why don't you empower yourself to figure it out? Sometimes I may, what's the word? Task you to, I don't know. So can you figure it out? Let me know, and then I'll share it with the students, and then I'll give you the credit or whatever. So again, these are the student guides, but those came right here from the Student Support Hub. Help is great too. It'll tell you there's phone numbers here. If you guys want to go old school, or is that coming back around and you actually pick up the phone and talk to a humanoid? That's what I did. So you have Santa Ana and SCC over here, which is awesome. Okay, so again, going back to our class, let's go to the dashboard just to make sure. Hold on one sec. Access denied. I can't access that. Let me just hit leave student view. And then you'll see a little bit extra here. So my class here. I did these two classes for this particular semester are the exact same thing. Just one meets on Tuesday mornings, and the other one is 16 weeks online, asynchronous, meaning you can do the work whenever you want to. If you're in the online version, you are still welcome to come in class. If there's a special chapter that you want to really see in person, I do more activities in class than lectures because the lectures are already provided in Canvas. So nobody's getting more better stuff over here because you come to class. You just get more activities that maybe put it in your bones a little bit differently. Okay. So let's either one. I can click either one. They're set up exactly the same. I want to make sure that you guys get comfortable. Notice where it has these crossed out eyeballs means you can't see it, right? And then, of course, you don't want to do course analytics. Thank goodness. So your homepage always looks like this, and I have a start here button. Now, after week 1, I'll probably take this off and just bump up the quick links because after week 1, why are we talking about welcome week 1 or week 2, and you should already have this stuff done? We will go over every single thing today in this video. Okay. Again, I have these hyperlinks here. Again, these SEC resources are already down at the bottom, tutoring support, all the stuff is here. I want to make sure that you guys have access. I ran into something today where somebody's like, well, I don't know. And I was like, okay, it's okay not to know, but we're in college, so we're here to figure stuff out. Yeah. So I think sometimes in high school, you can say, well, I don't know, and somebody's going to give you the answer. No, I'm going to say, it's okay not to know. Let's figure out the answer. Sometimes you'll hear me say the phrase, do 3 and see me. Ask a friend, look at Canvas guides, call the help desk, whatever. And then if everybody's like still can't help you, come to me. Absolutely. I'm here no matter what. But when somebody says, "Can you read the syllabus to me?" or "What did we go over in class?" Actually, I can't. I mean, because that's called enabling. And I'm a Gen X mom and I have an 18-year-old, and I will not even enable the only person on the planet who calls me mom. I will not enable. So I'm not going to do it for you guys either. So why, right? If you never let a kid tie their own shoes, they're never going to learn how to tie their shoes. Same with laundry, same with dishes, same with saying please and thank you, same with studying or flashcards or paying taxes or whatever. We have to learn, right? Okay. Even though adulting is like sometimes a 1 star, we still got to do it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go back to view as a student so you can see just what you guys see. I try to like narrow the scope so it's not too much of overwhelm week one. So again, over here, you can start straight down, go all the way through, but you can also hit click here, start here. And so watch, if I click this, it's going to take me to welcome week module. If I click here, I'll find it too. It's the same thing. Some people like the big button. Some people like it over here. But what I like to do is go down, and if there's an announcement here, I normally post 3 actually up top, but for the first week, I only post 1. So I'll put a couple announcements. I sort of do an announcement like every other day. And notice that I put CDEV 107 right here, so you can search by it, or you can like filter by it kind of situation. If you're in another class, I'll put that as the header too. So you saw that I do 202. So it'll say CDV 202. So if I click announcements, you'll see all the announcements that I have like pending, which is kind of fun, but I think it could be overwhelming. So let's go straight to the syllabus. Now, your syllabus is the blueprint or roadmap, or like if you were going on a road trip and your friends go like, "Hey, let's go find that bench that, Forrest Gump sat on and like Charlotte, North Carolina, or Savannah, Georgia, or whatever." You're going to get out a map. And yes, we have devices to do maps and whatnot, but you still like to scroll ahead and see, are we turning left next? Are we turning right? How far is this? How many times? What does it say? So the syllabus does that kind of situation for us all. Again, it's the blueprint. This is where you can download it right here. So I'm going to show you that. It's the exact same thing that's all the way down in here too. Ooh, I don't like it when it's like not perfect right here. I have a little touch of the OCD. So if you see something that's kind of weird like that, and I could probably edit it with in front of you guys if we have time, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to show you right here. If you see this download button, you can go right to a download and it will download it. And then you can put it anywhere. I usually put stuff on my desktop and then come back. But look, it's already here. So you can download it, and or there's a preview. So if you just click the link, the whole line, you get a preview. So you don't have to download it. Maybe you don't trust your device or you run out of space or whatever. So I'm, like I said, I'm old school, so a lot of times they print these things out. And so if that's up to you, you let me know. If you need one printed out and you don't have a printer, like I'm not going to print out 40 of these things, but if you are like, I need it in my hand, I'm good. We all learn different ways, and sometimes like having it in your hand is like accountability, right? It's like having a post-it and whatnot. So again, please read the syllabus. I'm not going to read every word to you. If if you're struggling with reading and things like that, I can. But at the same time, I'm also a big fan of technology and AI, so I would probably find something that we could read it for you. Please let me know if that's what you need with your DSPS accommodations letter, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm happy to provide that. I just need enough lead time so I can actually do it. So this particular class is hybrid instruction. You might be an online class. Just make sure that you're reading all these things here. Student support, I will post this in the classroom and in my office here. Classroom is B204, office is U90. Okay, cool. All right, so please read all the parts of this document. And yes, it's 12 pages. You you don't have to read it all in one day, but if you printed it out or you know where it is, you downloaded it, you have access to it all the time. What to expect? It's a pretty awesome class. If you're in class day 1, you're going to hear me say things like, um, because of child development, all the rest of the majors are possible. What? So if you're a graphic designer, or you're want to be a forensic psychologist, or you want to be an anthropologist or music major athlete, you had somebody in your corner as a child, or you didn't, and you're trying to like blow past those like old rules, right? So you're trying to make some changes. Other No matter what your backstory is, child development was in your backstory because you were a child, so was I. There's a lot of things that are very similar no matter what the generation is. Course textbook. There is no cost for the textbook. We have a link. So I not only provided you a link, but I provided you a QR code. So I also put it in a module in the class. Again, choose your own adventure, do what makes more sense to your brain, and so you are more comfortable and you can learn as you keep going. So student learning outcomes, these are just, you're going to see this in every class. There's at least three for a 3-unit classes, three student learning outcomes. This is how I know by the end of the semester, did you learn something in my class? We're going to be talking about development from before conception through adolescence, right? So we do stop at 18, but adolescence, we know now in our society, is usually around to about 25 when the brain kind of stops growing, that first little blip there. Then critically evaluate all these different contexts, meaning these different things. Like, if you come from an affluent family, your development may be affected by that. If you were around, again, some of you were in high school during COVID, some of you were younger during COVID. Did it affect your development? Yeah, it did. So we'll talk more about that as we move forward. Apply knowledge of development and manage theoretical frameworks to child observations. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do actually 3 or 2.5 observations in this class, where the first one is a video, and you're going to talk about in discussion board when you talk about infants, toddlers. Excuse me. And then we're going to observe a child in our child development center or something similar, and then the child in middle childhood is a little bit older, and then we get to compare the two. All the instructions for every assignment are in Canvas, and I got those maxed out. Okay, cool. Course objectives is like, these are like the small steps to get to these big steps. And so every single chapter has course objectives that go towards these objectives that goes toward that. So kind of like reverse engineering. So again, most of the time that's just how my bosses know that I'm doing my job, because I'm doing these things. Okay. If I don't, I don't get a job. Excuse me, I have a sneeze brewing. Unity, I believe in diversity and inclusion. Yes, I am a white mom from Orange County. I know what that looks like. But that doesn't mean that I'm not multicultural and believe in the rights of all humans. Okay. We'll talk more about that too. I don't let perceptions, right? Has anybody ever misjudged you? Don't misjudge me. It won't go well for you. Kidding. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, I actually had a colleague that's like, I said, send me that student. I can help her out. He said, I don't know how you can do that, because she only speaks Spanish. I was like, yo puedo hablar español. Claro que sí. Tengo más de 1,400 días en seguido en Duolingo sin parar. So I'm an intermediate in Spanish, and I found an AI companion that will talk to me as I drive home to the Inland Empire. So I practice Spanish like 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Not sure if I'll ever get fluent, but I give myself another 5 years. We'll talk more about what I accept in terms of like, if you need to read or if you need to write or produce some certain things in Spanish. Yes, I can read in Spanish. So sometimes when people are just coming into college and they don't understand the computer and still struggling with English, it's more comfortable in these intro classes that I can take. Or even explain a few things in Spanish and take work in Spanish. That is one of the upsides of the California Chancellor's Office. They did allow us, once the curriculum is approved, we can teach this course in any language. So if I spoke Arabic, like I could do it in Arabic if I wanted to. Okay. Okay, that's a little side note. I have lots of side notes. Privacy statements. I've already had people divulge stuff to me the first couple days. And I do not share. I do not tell. I have a background as a social worker. Privacy is very important to me. I'm a pretty private person, although I do TMI a lot. But let me know how I can support you. It's okay. We're all going through a lot of stuff and life is weird. So let's work together. Fair? Good. Policies and procedures. Again, it is Thursday on week 1. I've already dropped like 4 or 5 people. Why? Because they missed the first deadline of the academic honesty assignment. Now, I'm not that much of a hard line holder like that. But again, since we have fraudulent students, that is kind of a newer policy that we hold the line on maybe somewhere midweek, week 1, to make sure, again, if I only have 40 spots in this class and there's 3 people on the wait list, let's get the fake students out of here, right? If you have more questions about that, please reach out. The bottom line is that it's chase the money. People are trying to get financial aid for free and they're pretending to be somebody else with a different social security number. And so they don't ever have to pay stuff back. Not fair, not okay. It's not happening in my class. Okay. So again, it's up to the student to drop the class unless you cross the line in my class and I tell you got dropped. Self-service will take you to adding or dropping a class. Sometimes people start this class and they get so behind in the first because they didn't read the syllabus. And they get so behind at first, then they need to drop it and then come back in at the 8 weeks. If that's the case, save your work. You can resubmit it. The book doesn't change. Children don't change in the course of a few weeks. So here is my email. I do prefer that you use Canvas once the course starts. This is like if your friend needs to add or if your tech is messing up in Canvas or whatever, use this, okay, as a backup. Cool. By end of week 1, I usually say, hey, I noticed that you only have 3 minutes logged in the class and the college suggests 9 hours. So 9 hours divided by 7 days is a little bit like an hour and 15 minutes a day, max. Some people can do it in less, some people need more. And yes, Canvas will tell me how many minutes, what pages you've accessed. Like it's pretty robust back there. Again, some weeks it might take more, some weeks it might take less. Your choice. You're the adult, you get to choose. Okay. Regular and substantive interaction means you can't just take off for 2 weeks and then come back in and turn in the last 2 weeks of stuff in one day. I've had students try to like turn everything in the last week. Okay, it's 15-week class. You're going to turn in 10 weeks of work in the last 2 weeks. It's insane. I'm not doing that. And people and people don't pass the class. It's ridiculous. It's not successful. Let's set us up for success and not failure. So again, the homepage, if you get this with your QR code, bonus, text me or put a message in the inbox. What does QR stand for? Don't look it up. It's an easy one. Yeah, I'm one of these nerds that knows like what does HTTP stand for? Like all that stuff, like nerd. But yeah, don't let the white soccer mom child development hippie fool you. I'm like a closeted nerd. Okay. Attendance and participation. If you are in the hybrid class, I don't take attendance, but I do expect participation. If you're in the online class, participating means answering emails, answering announcements, responding to comments I put on your grades. So sometimes I'll say, hey, this was a really great discussion board, but you missed X, Y, and Z. Next, I can't pass you because I don't take late discussion boards. So next time, X, Y, and Z. I do expect like a little bit of a, okay, professor, I read your comment. You don't have to like go elaborate. But sometimes I give support or I say like thumbs up, you did amazing. It's okay. I just took a class over the summer and my professor, who's also a colleague, was very complimentary. And I was like, wait, I didn't know I needed all that. And so now I really see that that's a beautiful thing to share to the students because some students really love it. Some students could care less. So if you see a comment from me, it's okay to comment back, right? Okay. Academic integrity. Listen, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Listen, nobody's perfect, but if you are just like, I need to get this assignment done, how do I make it fast and how do I use AI? Bro, just don't. Come on, it's child development. This is not UCLA Film School or USC Law. Come on, this is a community college, intro to child development. You've already been through every single thing we're going to talk about in this class in your lifetime, unless you're under 18, which we do have some, under 18, which is fine. You should be a 50% expert at this class on day 1. If you feel like you need to cheat, no, we need to have a longer conversation about that and integrity as a human being. Our society doesn't need more cutting corners or being less than our optimal self. And again, I'm not like this bodybuilder, like, gym shredder, optimal self kind of person, but we have a brain. Each one of our brains are so unique. And if we're looking for the answers outside of ourselves, I mean, what does that say about you? Ugh, too many cheaters in this lifetime. And I don't just mean in academics. So just be better. Be better. Not for me, for you. If I see or even suspect, I don't have to prove it. I just have to suspect. I can do an F for that assignment. So 0 points. Okay. And then when you resubmit, it's going to miss 10 points. And at the end of your course grade, you're going to miss 10% as well. So you'll never get an A in this class ever. If I see that I can prove, or I even have one of my AI tools that tells me, oh, this looks like it was partially constructed by AI, done. Like, I'm not going to fail you from the class, but it's going to hurt. It's going to smart. It's going to be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And that's the point. That's how we learn. Okay. I have a very specific AI policy. I don't hate AI. I don't. Just don't use it in place of your own brain. Trust me. I write weird like emails all day and I'm like, this sounds like I'm not okay. So then I'll put it in AI and have it like polish it up or make it sound more collegial or whatnot. Because sometimes, I'm a little hot-headed and I have it help me, not do it for me. Make sense? So I always say I'll tell you, like, I don't like typing. I'm not a great typist. I'll talk about my learning disabilities as we move forward. So I use text to speech a lot, right? I do check my translations in Google Translate, which is a lot better because I use AI. Grammarly is okay, but don't let Grammarly write your papers because you can pay for it to do a lot of stuff. I will tell you in each assignment when it's okay to do. In fact, I'm going to say, hey, guess what? We're going to learn about this AI tool today. And we're going to learn about our questions versus its questions and compare and contrast, things like that. Do not use it for discussion boards. Come on. My discussion boards are usually based around your opinion. If I say, what is your favorite theory that we've learned so far? And you have to go ask AI, what's your favorite theory? That's a longer conversation that you can't even stand on your own 2 feet to formulate your own opinion. You can't say, I like this thing because we need to talk. The best part about adulting is that you get to formulate your own opinions. I'm never going to say you're wrong unless you're coming out with like non-facts, right? Facts are facts, matrix, like data is data, but at the same time, people could spin anything you hear, like, something it's always a spin, right? For, let's say, the entire class got an average of 70% on like a quiz. Let's say everybody took this quiz and everybody got 70%. I can either report the 30% or I can report the 70%. So I can say this was a successful quiz because the class average was passing, was average, which is amazing. Or I can say, oh, you dummies, like you missed 3 points. Come on. So the spin is real. We don't need a spin. We need to use our own brains. Okay. Again, some future careers will rely heavily on AI. That's not this career. If you're a child development major, maybe curriculum and maybe some other things, but relax. Okay. We're going to use it when we need to and not use it when we don't. Okay. And then here's the thing. Also, you can say, I use this for that. I will literally in one of our discussion boards will say, I need you to come up with an AI generated picture of your two ideas mushed together. What? Yes. So you'll notice I use red for like warnings and green for like conversation here. Bottom line, we're preparing professionals who will support children and families for generations. Your authentic growth and genuine understanding are irreplaceable. You cannot fake it with kids. You know why? Because they will call you out on, especially 4-year-olds. They're gonna be like, you cheated. That doesn't sound like you. I mean, they'll call you out. And if you can't, honestly, if you get into battle wills with a 4-year-old, you've already lost. You think a 4-year-old can best you? If you aren't doing your own work, they'll figure it out. Like, like if you said, "Oh, I have this great idea," they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sure you did an AI." They'll call you out. So let's just get into the habit of just doing your own work. Okay. Technology, I did put in the Canvas shell about I mentioned here, I'm a little bit of a tech nerd. I don't know everything, but I do have the philosophy that computers work for us, not the other way around yet. Make sure that you know, sometimes Canvas is best supported um, on Chrome, but sometimes Safari does a better job. So it kind of depends on your device and your bandwidth and things like that. So you have some other QR codes here you can experience. So again, I mentioned here communicating with me. I'm usually on campus like 3 to 4 days a week. Like again, it's late at night. I'm still here. Sometimes I'm here till midnight. But at the same time, you're going to hear a lot from me. Again, I send these policy reminders. I send sometimes I'll send trivia. I literally have a trivia set up in an announcement that says plus 1 point for anybody who can figure out the animal that I'm in this picture with. Yeah. And so you could maybe look it up online, but I don't think yeah. It's not that it's hiding from the internet, but I don't even know how you would figure that out. Anyways, little things. Sometimes I have you respond and I'll say at the bottom, action step, please respond below if X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And if I don't need you to respond, I just leave that feature off. Okay. So again, contact me. The best one is the inbox in Canvas. By the way, it tracks when you email me, when I email you back. So for the student who likes to go, well, I emailed you 7 times, I'm going to say, where did you do that? When did you do that? I try to get back the very next day. It's hard, but I try my very, very best. Okay. Communicating in class, listen, be cool, right? No, don't type in caps and don't like, don't be super judgy and weird. Like I had somebody who was maybe new and was like literally in a discussion board. So like, I don't know very many gay people. I think it might be weird to be gay. It's like, okay, if you're trying to say I'm uncomfortable or I don't know what that's like, that's different than saying it might be weird to be gay. So like just watch your tone, watch what you're saying, and then realize that your perception is not everybody else's perception and everybody else's perception is not your perception. That's part of adulting as well. Student to student contact, make friends. You might have somebody else in some other classes. Or guess what? If you miss a class, then this person can catch you up. I am not in charge of if like I said, I don't take attendance. So if you don't come, I've had somebody be like, "Hey, can you tell me what we covered today?" No, that's what the syllabus is for, right? You might have a friend that could help you with that. Okay, I have a phone call coming, but I'm gonna call it back. Let me just tell her. Okay, good. Done. Okay, cool. Pronto is another thing at the very bottom of Canvas on the bottom. It's like an SMS feature. So if you message me and Pronto goes right to my cell phone, like a push notification. I don't have to log into Canvas. I can just answer you there. So now, sometimes if I'm busy, I'll say, listen, I won't be back in the office until like 6 p.m. I will message you back then. And then sometimes I do forget. So please be patient and, let me know. I do put these hyperlinks in here about infographic on etiquette and having a study partner actually helps you. Because if you hear the information, you only retain so much. But if you teach it to somebody else or discuss it with somebody else, you retain more. And then when you teach it, you get it. You get 90% of it. So every week we'll have a module activity, and I have these things called content connections. It's basically notes. I just need to know that you've connected with the content. Now, some people hate notes. Some people want to do a graphic organizer. Some people want to do an interpretive dance of light and shadow. It doesn't matter the format. Tell me what you got. Tell me how you connected. And you know what? Look at it. It's 10 points. It's not the end of the world. So this week I literally told my professor over the summer, listen, I'm busy. I'm traveling. I can't do it this week. Yeah. And he's like, all right, cool. Pick your battles. Yeah. Because we'll talk about points because in this class, you don't have to get every point to get an A or a B or a C. What? And then I round up if it's on the edge, right? Okay, we'll talk more about that. Okay. So content connections and then discussion. So look at these they're 10 points. Right? Oh, I put 6. No, it's 15. I got to fix that. We have 15 chapters. This is my summer class. Discussions, 15 points each, times 15 modules. Again, this is a do it in the week. I don't grade it late. I don't accept it late. And it's a complete or incomplete. So you're going to do your first post by Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't put a grade on it. I mean, I can't put a grade on that first part. You're not going to like fail the class if you get it in by Friday, but don't do it past Friday. That's why I say Wednesday. And then by the Sunday, you're going to do 2 peer responses. So there's 3 parts. If you don't even attempt all 3 parts, it's a 0. But if you know you're not going to do a good job on it, move on. It's 15 points. Not the end of the world. Trust me, I'm going to teach you how you can almost lose 150 points in this class and still be in the A range. What? Okay, let's keep going. Reflections, end of the week. What did you really learn? Yeah, notes are notes. Okay, this is all for you. This is not for me. How do you connect to the material? How do you discuss the material? How do you how do you reflect on the material? God, I took the class in the 90s and I did pretty good. And then I've been teaching it forever. So this is all for you. Again, the reflections are in 3 parts as well. It's like, hey, what stuck out to you? It's not going to be everything that you read, but you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that about twins. That's really cool. And then the second part is, how does this apply to your life now or in the future or whatever? Some of you are already working with kids. Some of you already have kids. How does it apply? And if every once in a while I get somebody else, I don't know how it's going to apply. That's not an acceptable answer. Make a guess, make something up. Just going through those motions helps you connect better to the material. And the last is finding a third resource or something that connects. So let's say we were talking about paternal, like father's influence on the pregnancy, because there is an influence on the pregnancy just from the father being there or not being there. And then you wanted to put in a song lyrics, like Kanye had something about being a dad or something like that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I want you to again make those connections in your way, because learning is not just like regurgitating a book and putting it on a quiz. Not anymore. Not anymore. No, no, no. Don't waste your time or your money. Learn it, make it useful, and connect it to your life. Or, or why are you in college, right? It's not like that anymore. We're not just like spitting out facts. It has to mean something, or else why are you doing it? So then we have three major assignments. That's it, the whole semester. I put it on here that these are required. These are required. You have to do the two observations. You have to do the lifeline. You have to do this. So again, they all have to be like passed with a 70% or above, or else we're not sure that you've met those student learning outcomes that we talked about at the beginning. So again, the first observations in a discussion board, and it's a video of your choice. Then we're going to do two observations of a younger child and a little bit older child, and then compare and contrast. Then this lifeline presentation is super fun. It is a slide deck of one slide per chapter. So 15 chapters, around 15 slides, plus or minus a few beginning and ending slides, but it's all about you. So start collecting your pictures now. If you don't have pictures, you can use stock photos as long as you cite your source, right? And they match. You can't put like something about like I lost my tooth. I lost my tooth when I was 1 years old. Well, no, you barely were getting teeth at 1 years old. So it has to be accurate, but you can use any sort of format that you want to. You can use any colors. You can use like anything like that. So it's super fun. A lot of people then present it to their family, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you notice that there's these little asterisks here. There's asterisks on certain things. That means I'll show you in a second what that means. Okay. The last one is a student outcome final essay. We're going to talk a little bit about those historical and economic and political influences on child development. Um, excuse me, I do have quizzes. Sometimes I call them practice quizzes because they're 10 points. There's 15 modules, and guess what? You can use your book. You can use your notes. You can take it as many times as you want, and you have no time limit. Cool. Same with exams. We have one exam at the end of every unit. 10 true false, 10 multiple choice, 10 multiple answers, 10 matching, and one 10-point essay. New for this semester, the 10-point essay is required. You don't have to like go for it. You could be like, I only want 5 points on that, but I need that essay. I need that essay in there. Extra credit is everywhere. Guess what? That's where the asterisk comes from. Asterisk, asterisk. I can give you extra credit on a reflection. What? Discussions? This is like pass or fail. The content and connections are pass or fail. Like, what's a check mark or a thumbs down, right? Observations, show me what you got. Let's get a couple. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, I died this class. I need like 190%. No, calm down. Yeah, but here's the thing. Let's say you're doing so good on some stuff, you got some extra points, but then the following week your friend says, "Hey, I got comedy tickets or whatever, or whatever. Somebody's playing at the whiskey." Great. Skip something then. If it's Wednesday night and you're going to get your discussion board in, skip it because you got a couple extra points floating around and vice versa, right? If you're doing all the work, then you don't have to push yourself for extra points. Your choice. You're an adult. Choose your own adventure. Okay. Okay, grading policy. All duties are target dates. I am pretty flexible when life gets in the way, but you have to reach out and let me know ahead of time. Now, sometimes we don't know ahead of time. I always like to say the day before or 2 days before, but it could be like you were planning on turning in your discussion board Wednesday night and your boss calls you to do a double or something like that. Cool. Turn it in Thursday. But what I want you to do is reach out and be like, hey, I'm not going to get this in on time. The only thing I say is no late discussion boards. And the only other hard line is the very end of the course. I will not extend work for the end of the course. Meaning, how would you like it if I told you this class was 4 months long, but last semester I let 7 people turn in things late. So they got 4 months in 2 days, but you only get 4 months. How do you like that? It's not fair. It's not equitable. I won't do it. That's to me, it's a published date. That's it. That's it. So again, if you want to be late and you don't want to bring it up to me, that's fine too. You're going to take 10% off per week, which is about 1.4 points per day. So just as a warning. Grading policy, I try to get everything within the week. I don't always get there, but I will try my best. Some things are automatically graded, some things are hand graded. So I put all the points together. Again, we have 1,450 points, which is a lot. But notice that these big ones, these big assignments right here, your SLO, your lifeline, your observations, those are big points. So if you don't do them, you're not, it's basically 10%. This is a little bit less than 10%. This is a little bit over 10%. You're not going to get the grade you want if you don't do the big ones, right? So again, I give you a percentage breakdown. So really, if you think about this for a second, look at this. This discussion is 14%, right? So it's about 145 points out of 1450, which makes each discussion 1 week 1% of your grade. Yeah, you can skip a couple. Okay. I can't make that choice for you, but I'm telling you, this is not the class that you need to be stressed out in, right? So again, 10% off of 1450, we're going to make this 145 points. Like 145 points you can skip and still have an A. And notice here, I round up 89.5. Guess what? I also can't give A pluses and gold stars. So if you have 107% in this class, it's the same letter grade as the person with an 89.5 in this class. Your choice. Stress out for the 107 or go for the 89.5. I'm good. We all learned how to round up in the third grade, right? I'm doing it here for you too, right? You have to have a 69.5 to get to pass this class. This is the passing grade. D's are not passing, F is not passing. Okay, cool. I made a course schedule and it's in like a repeatable, understandable format. First week, these are the dates. This is the week. We have our welcome week, and that's all we're doing. We're doing our academic honesty agreement, and I'll show it to you in the modules. Get that intro discussion portion. I put it in by Friday, but that's fine. Like Wednesday, Friday. I just didn't want to put two things on one day. Who cares? And then this is more important. I wanted the academic honesty agreement. And then the intro discussion portion you're going to see here, they're all here on Wednesdays going forward. And then on Saturday, you can turn in your syllabus scavenger hunt. And on Sunday, you're going to do follow up to your intro discussion board and reply to your peers. You have like 5 things to do in a week. I think you can do it. Now, when chapter 1 rolls out, ooh, this doesn't look good. This is the first module. And I will kind of maybe later this week, and I'll kind of give a heads up. We'll see. It just depends. I just moved last weekend, so kind of like boxes and whatnot. So again, every week a module rolls out. You turn in your main discussion board by Wednesday. You turn your notes in by Friday. And then I put a little tip here. Be sure to read and respond to all the Monday welcome announcements. Every Monday around 8 a.m. was like, hi, welcome to chapter 2, chapter 1, chapter 12. Yeah, with the Bitmojis. And that's why I put my hair up so you could see that I look like my Bitmoji. And then at the end of the week, you're going to turn in that practice quiz, 10 points, a journal, 15 points or more if you're super awesome about it. And then the final discussion board responses. Remember, if you don't do all parts of the discussion board, it's a fail. So why did you even try? So if you're going to do it, like let's do the Yoda thing. There is no try, only do. Okay. Right. Do or do not. Right. So, so basically you can actually do all of the discussion board in one day, but sometimes earlier in the week, people don't respond or people aren't posted. So my philosophy is I do it Monday night. Again, I was just a student this summer. It was the first time I took a class in 30 years. So it was fun, funky. Um, just to be a student again, it was fantastic. But I would do my discussion boards first. I would do the whatever, do it Monday night because then I'd be like, oh, then later I can roll up on Sunday and do the rest. Or maybe not do it Sunday, I do it Friday. But that's just me. And you know what? And sometimes I would do it all later in the week. I'd be like, oh my God, I forgot the discussion board. Let me get that in by Friday. Oh, and some other people posted so I can respond right now. So just don't do it all crammed at the end of the week or else it's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. So you're going to see these heavy lines here. These are our units. So this is unit 1, which is chapter 1, 2, 3. So every time we have three chapters, you have a unit. You have a quiz with every module, but then you have a unit exam at the bottom. So chapter 1, 2, 3, you'll see this exam here. Again, I gave you some Thrive tips over here. Look at this. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So this is how Babies are made, babies are created. We talked about this in high school biology class. Like, it's nothing's really new, but there are some cool new terms and theories and things like that that you will learn in the world of child development. Really cool. Then we moved on to look at infants and toddlers. Oh, what happens after babies are born? They're infants and toddlers. So this whole unit right here is infants and toddlers. But now we break it down into three areas of development. The physical development. We all know that little babies are blobs and then they get bigger, right? But let's talk about this little stage, right? Then we talk about cognition, which is brains, right? How is their brain working? How is their brain fired up? How is it? What are they learning? What are they seeing? What are they interacting? How does their brain grow, right? And then we talk about social emotional, which is a fancy term of saying emotions or, oh, psychosocial development, things like that. So you're going to see me do this: bodies, brains, and hearts, right? So bodies is physical, cognition is our brain, and social emotional is our hearts. Cool. So then at the end of this unit, you'll have an exam again. So look at this. We have every week, turn in your main discussion board post by Wednesday, turn in your notes or content connections by Friday. Then you have the quiz, the journal, and this final discussion board responses to your peers by Sunday. So Sunday wraps up everything, but this is kind of like a mile marker, the discussion board post. I can't put a grade on this one. So if it goes from Wednesday to Thursday, that's going to be okay. Trust me, no one's going to die on this one. Trust me. I haven't seen it happen. World has not swallowed up anybody when they put their main discussion board in on Thursday, right? But the notes by Friday, you should be able to do the readings and get the notes in. Again, 100% your format. It just can't be like weak sauce, right? It has to be pretty standardized. And I do have a rubric, so you guys know that if you're doing enough. Just heads up, it's 2 pages typed, 4 pages handwritten. And then if you do a mind map, like all the course terms on one page, right? But if you want to do Cornell notes, again, if you want to write a ukulele song about chapter 4, great. Whatever makes your heart sing and connects you. Again, it's called content connections. Okay. Now, some people I say like, I don't need notes. I just I put the book on audio and I just listen to it. Cool. Let me know that too. Tell me the source that you use. And we might do a Zoom and you can give me an example and you're good. You're good to go. Yeah. Because I know not everybody needs notes. I didn't always need notes, but notes kind of like anchored me so I could kind of know that I actually got it into my body. And that's for all of us. If it's not in the body, it's not in the brain. Okay. And again, when you might be the person who needs to do jumping jacks and push-ups over your book. Cool. Show me. Tell me. You could even sit and do a video and like skim through the chapter and say, okay, this is cool. I'm reading about this. I wonder about that. This is neat. This is not. I'm okay with that too. How did you connect to the content? That's it. That's all I want to know. Okay, then we move into physical again. We start over physical, cognitive, and social emotional, but now we're in early childhood. If you are a child development major, this is your jam. Okay, these are your people. So infant toddlers are usually 0 to 2. Early childhood is 3, 4, 5. And then the next one is middle childhood is usually 6 through 12. So again, look at this, repeats: physical, cognitive, social, emotional, and at the end we have adolescence. Big surprise? No, not really. You'll see the only thing I missed out on here is that on 11 is Veterans Day. I didn't put it in here. So if we're in the hybrid class, we don't meet on 11/11. That's the only one. And then right here, Thanksgiving holiday, I put it over here. So you'll notice that what did I take off? I took off the notes. Now let's go back to the assignments. Okay. First observations due. At the end of early childhood, yeah, let's do an observation. You're going to tell me what you saw, and I'll walk you through it. I have all these instructions. You're going to tell me what you saw, where you went, who you saw, what domains you saw. If you saw this kid on the tricycle, was that social emotional? Probably not. It was more physical, right? If you saw them playing dress up and playing mommy and daddy, a little bit more social emotional, right? So it's going to be super easy. It's only I think I'm going to do a 30-minute this time. I used to make it an hour, but I'd rather you guys get really like good stuff in 30 minutes than spend an hour and get nothing, right? That's why I don't have you watching teenagers, because what are you going to sit there and watch them on their gaming device or like I don't know. So we do the younger ones so we can compare and contrast. So we do the early childhood, and then we do middle childhood. And then we see how are their bodies different? How are their brains different? How are their emotions different? Right? How have they developed between this age and that? It doesn't have to be the same kid, clearly, so we don't have a time machine, but we can compare and contrast because we're in college and we can do that, I promise. So that's the first observation. Second one's due. You can start on one early too, but that means you have to read ahead, and I'm not sure you're ready for that. It's good to identify who you could observe. You can go use our center here. You can use a family friend. It just can't be anybody that you live with. If it is somebody that and you can't be your own child, right? You have to have a permission slip, either from a center director or a parent. Yeah. And we'll talk about this. And why do we do that? Because we protect children's identities and we don't um, manipulate or use children for our own educational resources. You need to have permission. I'm very protective about things like that. Okay, so notice this. It's part one, part two, and then we kind of put it together. Tell me how these two were similar. Tell me how these two were different. It's up to you. I always suggest like watch a boy and a girl. Don't just do boys, but even so, you can. I mean, everybody's different, right? But there's a lot of similarities. So what do you see? You're going to pretend that I'm standing right next to you, and I'm going to tell you how to do a running record. This would be beautiful, right? You don't say that kid was having a tantrum. I think he's having a hard day. No, that's not an observation. That's your assessment. Don't give me an assessment. Say that kid threw the ball at a friend and then kicked their sandcastle over. Period. Okay, we'll talk about a lot more of the details as we go forward. Again, so we have an exam at the end of every unit here, and then we have our Lifeline draft due. So again, it's 15 to 20 slides, but I need to see at least 10 slides before Thanksgiving. So we'll talk more about that as we move forward. I don't wait till it's due to talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about that at least halfway through, and then a month before, and then this last essay. So I put this here on Saturday, so everybody's not cramming stuff in by Sunday. Because look at it got chunky. There's a lot more stuff due, and the holidays come up, and everybody's so busy. Let's plan accordingly. Let's do it ahead of time. There's no sneaky nothing here, right? And again, you need to do these to pass the class, right? Because these are about 10% of the grade. So you don't do it, your grade could go down an entire letter grade, right? So again, here on the exams, they're all the same format: 10 true false, 10 multiple choice, 10 matching or fill in, and then one essay for 10 points. And then I actually do put a 5-point extra credit essay that kind of continues the essay. And so everybody could walk out of the exam with 55 points every time. So you have an extra 5 points. Oh, wait, an extra 5 points if I did that 3 times. That's like a discussion board that I couldn't do because I had my grandma's cat died and we had to have a thing. Got it. Got it. I give you guys options because life is life and we need options and we need flexibility and grace and understanding. So now you know where the syllabus is. Now you know what it's all about. I want to show you what it looks like live in the class. Again, so our home page is here. We have all this business in the front like we saw before. Oh, it's going a little bit slow. So again, even starting here will take you to the first module, but over here you can access modules here, but also you got quick links. You can hit the syllabus here. It's the same thing we just saw. The modules is the same thing that we have over here on the left hand. Discussion, same thing that's over there. Some people like buttons, some people like links. Okay. Quizzes, assignments, grades, SEC resources, and our textbook. Okay. So again, let's go down to our modules. You're only going to be able to the welcome week right now, which is good because I have all 15 modules plus a few more ready to go. Again, I hold advanced preparation in Canvas and a lot of this stuff. So a little bit I'm a little bit extra, not gonna lie. Okay, so about your professor, I'm not gonna read all this stuff. You can read it. I just added this because this is like, even though I'm super chatty, I'm an introvert, and so I don't always like toot my own horn kind of situation. So it talks about me. You do want to read through this because on the syllabus scavenger hunt, there's stuff in here. I'm just giving you a heads up, not going to tell you where or what, right? But again, we talked about this on the syllabus. I have a commitment to diversity and equity. The goals for this class is for you to learn and be a better human being, right? Just think for 5 minutes, if everybody understood child development and what was normal for a certain child at a certain age, and we weren't like bashing them for having a temper tantrum at 2. Hi, you've only been on the planet for 2 years. Things are weird. Sometimes I want to have a temper tantrum and I'm like 2 plus 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be like, I don't want to pay bills and I don't want to do this and I don't want to wake up and my alarm. Come on. That's age appropriate for me. A temper tantrum. Well, I do that because it's not a temper tantrum. It's a behavior because they don't have a language to communicate what they really want to say. They don't say, perhaps, Papa, I think a hug would be a crucial at this junction. Like, no, they hit the deck in the middle of Target because you have them out there at 9:30 at night when they should be asleep, right? Sometimes it's not the kids, it's the parents. And I say that as a parent, right? So again, I have a technology philosophy, and I tell you my nerddom in back. So when you read through this, yeah, that should take you 5-10 minutes. No big deal. Um, again, it comes off your to-do list. Once you read it, click done, right? Then we get into ready, set, go. This is the same as the modules here. I'll go back and forth so you can see. So we just went to welcome about your professor. We went to the next is step 1, step 2, step 3. That's it. So ready, set, go. Excuse me. I also put it in there, ready, set, go, or 1, 2, 3, because some people like the prescriptive 1, 2, 3, and some people like the ready, set, go. So I don't cater to everybody. I just try to accommodate different brains. Okay. So again, this kind of tells you how to use an accordion panel. Not hard. Most people do, but just in case somebody's never saw one, I want to make sure we're all accommodated. Does this look like me? I'm hoping it does because look at my hair's up pretty much all the time. I am wearing yesterday I wore tan linen pants and a blue shirt. So there we are. Okay, cool. So you can click on here, off here, anywhere. And then again, we talked about tech, there's an actual browser checker that tells you like, is your computer strong enough to handle Canvas, excuse me. Is your internet slow? You can ask for some financial support here. So if that's your situation, let me know. Connect your email. Make sure that you are getting all of the emails that I send in the announcements. If you did not get emails from me this week that look like announcements that start with CDEV 107, that is something that you need to fix on the backside. Usually the email that you've signed up to the college with is the one that you get. And then account over here is where you want to update your settings and your picture. Okay. See here where it says action step? That's how I know you got something to do. If you see it red and it says action step. Okay. This gives you some responses here, what to say. These are tips and tricks. Take them or leave them, right? Choose your notification settings. Some people want to know if I sneeze in this class. So if I change a due date from 8:59 to 11:59 or vice versa, sometimes it will give you a notification that could be annoying. Make your choices. Some people don't want any notifications. Some people want them all. So just know, okay? Update your profile picture. We've talked about this a couple times. I hear some of my guidelines here. This looks great. So she's not even smiling. So just get your face in there or the shoulders, kind of like I'm showing you right now. But yeah, this is cool, but too small. And whoa, thank you. No, I can't tell which one of you is a student. And cool pick who's dis, right? No, no, no. Okay. I mean, that could be out of a magazine. Listen, now, if for some reason you are very cagey about putting your picture, let's talk. We can do something else. And as long as you and I've talked about it and you need to put a picture of your chihuahua on there, I'm cool. As long as I know, like maybe if you and I Zoom and it's just you and me and we make a connection, then I'm cool with something else. Because I know people are introverted and really private, and I want to give you that option, but I need to have a little connection with you. I don't like teaching or having conversations with somebody in my class for the next 4 months. We're going to get to know each other and build community. And then I don't know what you look like, or I don't know what your voice sounds like. That's weird. It's hard. It's hard. I'm teaching stuff about humans, but you don't want to connect as a human. That seems the antithesis to why we're even here on the planet. Okay. After week 1, grades will not be entered in the grade sheet without a profile picture. I will remind you. Download the Canvas app. It works on your smartphone. Yes, I grade it. I grade in the middle of the night sometimes, or at the car wash or whatever, or I'm in line at the DMV or whatever. So that was step 2. Oh, and this is step 1. Step 1 was like, get your stuff ready, right? First part was professor. Then the next one is get yourself set. This is like, okay, how do I learn best? Who am I? That kind of situation. Set your goals for the class. Some people are like, I just need to pass. I just need to pass and pass. If you're a child development major, we suggest getting your grade, like an A, B, or C. If you just need this for a GE class, because this is a Cal Getsy and I Getsy class, it's up to you. Talk to your counselor first. You don't want to blow it with a credit, no credit when you really already had a B and you should just get a B. It's up to you. So I always give people guidelines here. show me your best work and you get the A. I mean, I don't give out grades. You get what you get. Right? Your grade matches your effort. Okay. Then we see again to pass this course 69.5. That's a C in my opinion. Make time in your calendar. When people say, "Oh yeah, I'll study sometime this week," that ain't it. You need to block out your calendar. You need to block, 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 block. I do it. I have to put grading for this class, grading for this class, set up for this class. Like it takes me hours to set up for this class, even though I've been teaching it forever. I polish the snot out of stuff because when it's not good, I don't like it. Okay. I give you a blank monthly calendar here. Use it or not. I just made this like a word table. A blank schedule sheet. I make these in color and post it at home and says this is where I'm at this time from this time and with my kids still on there too. Whatever works for you. You might use iCal. You may have like I have my whatever one from Marshall's down here. Like it's all good, right? Um, and again, I'll show you later what the calendar looks like. I don't think it's really super duper ready right now. But I will let you know. Ready your environment. Now I know not everybody's got the ideal environment. I mean, I'm alone in this beautiful classroom with 100 of my plants because I am kind of a plant guy. Like, what do I got? What do I got here? Oh, okay, I student just gave me this one. Hold on. This one I call Big Bertha. Can't really see it. It is a ficus with a big butt. Look at the butt. Then I mean I've got a spider plant up here. I've got a neon pothos right here. Meow. Yeah, seriously, three plants on my desk and probably 10 behind me and literally like 100 plants in this office. Come see U90. It's great. We have the best filtered air on campus. Yeah, I'm kind of a green hippie if you didn't figure that part out. All right. So again, we don't always have the ideal environment. I don't like recording like this when my coworkers are around. I mean, I can, but it's like distracting to them and me. So I had a coworker here and I waited until she left. But again, we have the library, the perch is like a little lounge. We just opened a student lounge in the T building. Distraction free. Some people need the distraction. Some people need the noise and the din, and you need to be at Starbucks or whatever. Some people need to be locked in with noise canceling headphones and leave me alone. I'm going to do it. Right. Now, again, I know it's hard. Some of you have kids and your kids are crawling all over and you're trying to do stuff. Do your best. Do your best. Right. I know some people do this class on the floor. Some people do it on their phone. I don't recommend that. But if that's all you got, that's all you got, right? I had people like doing live videos or I mean, and they're in their car with picking up their kids from daycare. And I was like, okay, you need to focus on driving. So again, if you're a visual learner, kinesthetic learner, auditory learner, there's some more information here. For me specifically, I'm a visual learner, like most people are. We process the world through our eyes. But sometimes when my brain is not doing well, I have to close my eyes and listen to what they're saying. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then if I still don't get it, I'm like, show me. Get it into my hands, show me. Like, don't tell me this is what a paintbrush does with this paint medium. Give me the paintbrush, give me the paint and the medium. Same thing with typing or learning something new. I have to kind of use all these different pieces depending on how my brain is that day. Again, do what works for you. You don't have to report this back to me. Maybe later I will put it in an announcement and you guys can reply. I look for engagement, see how you guys are doing. And then what's your sweet spot? For me, like, so are you AM, PM, or are you short and long periods? Are you silent or do you love the music? Or do you like to be friends or be alone? I am, real quick. I'm 10 to 12 in the morning and 10 to 12 at night. Then I can sit at my desk for like 6 hours, no joke. But that's not healthy and that's not good. So I'd set a timer every hour to get up and you do bio breaks or stretch out my legs or move some laundry or whatever, like kind of stuff like that. I try to be in the office as much as possible because laundry, I swear to God, just keeps piling like laundry dishes, dog, 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 right? So if I need to focus like this recording, I'm going to try to do some recordings at my place over the weekend. But again, I'm just renting a room at a friend's house while my house is under construction. So not sure how loud it is or what the background, I don't know. Sorry. Silent or with music, depends. If I'm hashing out something brand new, I have to give it. And then sometimes I have my laptop sitting right here and I'm watching Netflix. So it kind of depends. We aren't all the same every single day. And then alone or with other solo friends. If I'm learning something new, sometimes I like bouncing it off of people because they learn it differently or they see it differently. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I did never thought of it like that. So study buddies are great. even if it's virtual. Schedule regular self-care. This reminds me, I need to call the chiropractor because I have a twitch right here. Do your thing. Like maybe it's just putting lotion on your elbows and you don't have a lot of time or money. Trust me. A friend of mine was like, are you going out of town this weekend? I heard you're going out of town. I was like, out of town this weekend? I don't have time or money for that. What? No, stop it. You mean going from Corona to Santa Ana? Yeah, out of town. You're right. But can I stop for a minute and, call a friend or take a nap or something? Just something. So you're not just like this robot going through your day. You're a human being before you were any of these other things. Again, I put another article here. And yes, I do make my own graphics. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I told you. Told you I'm a nerd. And the Bitmojis, you can see there's my old Bitmoji, and then they revamped into a little bit more um a realistic picture, but I still like this. This is my favorite color combinations, teal and like cranberry. Backup planning. Here's a few things that students have said to me in the past. And let's just plan around it. Like this class is hard and I don't understand the readings. Well, if things were easy for you, would you really be in college? We learn best in disequilibrium when things are just a little bit off. I can tell you we had a situation with an alumni student today who was kind of stuck on some policy, some dumb policy, but there was about 6 or 7 of us administrators and teachers and stuff like that. We got together and we solved it, something brand new in one day together. You just have to feel uncomfortable enough to actually get some stuff done. Fair? I think so. You heard me say my house is under construction. It was after a house fire. It's not like I'm like this rich person who's like, oh, I'm just, putting in new floors. No, had a house fire in 2023. I've been homeless ever since. So, do I still come to work and make my classes awesome? Yes, I do. Um, Next one. I do not understand the directions for this assignment. Read it. Read it again. Write down a couple things that doesn't make sense, and then ask a friend. Reach out to me. Right? How did you do it when you were little? When you were in high school? You're just like, I don't know, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fail the class. That's not how this works anymore. Okay. I'm overwhelmed with all my classes. Maybe I should drop them. I am telling you right now, that we are very flexible on this campus. There's always a professor who's like, 90% of you are going to fail this class. We can't stand those guys. Trust me. So, but here's the thing. Talk to your professor. I found out that I needed DSPS support when I was in college. So, like, it's okay. I'm the person you want to talk to. Okay. I'm so stressed out I can't go to class. I'll just get more stressed out. Okay. But I see when some people don't come to class, they start to trail off and then they disappear. I'll reach out if I haven't seen you in a week or two. I'll reach out and be like, hey, how can I support you? Okay. This class is getting boring. I already know this stuff. When is it over? I can tell you that's the third month. The last month moves real quick where we're like turning in all this other stuff and the holidays are coming up. But there's this point in the middle where it's like, everyone's excited right now because we're just adding the class and then we learn it and then we're doing this and then our first exam and then, oh, this is kind of easy. And then it starts to do this. And then right at the end, pew, again, don't do that. Just be consistent all the way through. Then you don't have to spaz out at the end. Trust me, nobody needs that extra. So then when you're done here, keep going forward. Now, this is step 3. This is where you turn stuff in. And then we should be done in about 10 minutes. Okay, good. All right, Kate, academic honesty statement. It is, again, Thursday of the new semester. This was due last night. I did cut it off, and then I opened it back up again, I think. So when you see this, you can click here, and it'll take you right over here to, it's technically considered a quiz because it's like true, false, and whatnot. So you're going to click over there. Again, you can find it under quizzes. He highlights it here where that's where it's housed. It's also in the module. Like it's also under assignments. Like you guys got this. Okay. Again, choose your intervention. You can find it here. You could find it here. You could find it here. You can also find it here. That's 4 different places for it. Okay. Sometimes I'll also link it in an announcement and you can find it from there. 5 different places. Now, when you say, where's the academic honesty agreement? And I've given you 5 places to do it. That's not the priority of the email that I answer first. Make sense? Okay, cool. I don't not answer emails, but if I be like, oh, somebody who found something like a broken link, yeah, I'm going to address that first. Somebody who's like, I need to add the class before tomorrow, great, I'm going to address that first. But when you're asking me something that you really honestly have access to, I'll get to you. It's triage, educational triage. Okay, so you're going to see these accordions everywhere, right? So introduction, why are we doing this? Like, what is it? Quiz structure, I like to give people an idea of what it is. It's 10 true false, multiple choice, multiple answers. There's sometimes a half a point, sometimes 1 point, one short essay for 5 points, total 10 points possible. This is required or else I drop you. I've already dropped 4 people and reinstated 2. Okay. When ready, start the quiz and grading. It's automatically graded except for the last, which is like a recording / essay. Then I will hand do it. So when you're ready, you go down to, where is it? Oh, it won't do it. Wait, maybe it's over here. No, it won't do it under this version that I'm showing you, but I think it's either a button here or a button here that says, oh yeah, it was locked. So I will open this one up. So just in case, because there are a couple people who did it, all of it except for their recording. And then I'm like, no, you have 1 more day. Okay. So then from here, you go next. Either there's a next right here, or you go back to history. Maybe it won't work with history. Go back to history, or just go back. Go back 1. And then it'll take you to what's next on the list in the accordions that says, look, prep step 3, ready, set, go. And the next one is a syllabus scavenger hunt quiz. Yes, I make my own graphics. So I'm going to say that because I'm super proud of that. They're cute and nerdy, but that's my right brain side is my creativity is my plants and my graphics. So again, syllabus scavenger hunt is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to go through the syllabus. And that means the syllabus that's in that downloadable form and the one that's in the syllabus tab. Ooh, yeah. Every once in a while, people are like, you made us go from here to there to this and that. Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt. It's not easy. I mean, it is, but it's challenging on purpose. Okay. Introduction. Why do we do this? Okay. Well, this is why I do the same boring activities. Take it as many times as you want. Right? Again, 16 questions, 25 points total. True, false, multiple choice, multiple answers, matching. This is 100% graded automatically. You'll know what score you get. If you want to walk out instead of 25 points and get 19 and you're good, that's on you. Cool. Yeah, 19 is not bad. Let's see if my chat bot working. Let's see my chat. Oh, it's not working. Let me see if I can get access, give you guys access to that. So I have a chat bot that would help with this. So let me see if I can get that going before I leave tonight. Yeah, let me know your feedback. And so again, this right here will say, take the quiz. Right here, take the quiz. I'll show you the first question and a couple others. It's going to have the instructions here, but then you can just scroll down. Where can students find everything they need to know about this course? ChatGPT does not know about my course. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes hack. Circle button is a choice 1. You only choose 1. I didn't say the first one. I said choice 1. Square, do I have any square buttons? Square buttons means select all that apply. That means you can choose more than 1. Ooh, little hack. That's on every website. That's HTML5 coding, I believe. Okay, so, oops, did I select that? Oh, wonder if I got that right. What's a recommended daily? Oh, you're gonna have to go back and read this. By the way, I do change these up. So if you take this quiz more than once, don't be like, okay, well, number 4 was the 4th set. Know the term. Don't just be like position. Know the term, right? How much does a book cost? How many chapters are you responsible for week 1? And what do students need to qualify for the? It's all in there. It's all in there. Cool. All right, great. So then and when we're all done, we go to so at the very bottom, this is the tricky part. Wait. Oh no, this is the easy one. That's the easy one. The first one with the academic honesty, you have to do a recording at the bottom. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not hard, but if you don't do it, then I can drop you. So this one's super easy. Super easy. Let's see. Just take your time. You can take it as many times as you want. Let me go back 1, and we have 1 more. We're gonna leave it, even though it says it thinks I'm taking the quiz. So scavenger hunt. When we're done with this one, oh, wait, let's go back 1 more time. I'm looking for the part 3 of our module. Yeah, it says right here, prep step 3. So we looked at the academic honesty statement, answer a few questions, and record a statement, either video or audio. Syllabus scavenger hunt, you guys got that with the syllabus and in the course shell here. Introduction discussion board. This is where you guys will introduce a little bit more about yourself. Please read instructions. Please read all the instructions. In our face-to-face class, we're going to do some activities on reading instructions. Okay. And again, introduction. This is how we get to know each other, build community. Okay. Let's, again, even in an online environment, we can still be personal. Okay. Please and thank you goes a long way. And just trying to get to know people in the online environment is challenging, but it's can be done. Can be done. So step one, look, I try to make it super easy. Step one, step two, that's it. Create a single page document or graphic that has 5 images, not animated because then it just takes up a lot of bandwidth. That visually represent who you are, like what you like, your characteristics, interests, goals. No links. Don't give me any hyperlinks or links. Trust me. I won't grade it. In fact, I'll delete your post and you can start over. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to do a take two. With each graphic, it could be a graphic, it could be clip art. I don't care. Include a short caption and make it readable. A lot of times I get people with a pink background and pink writing. I'm like, bro, I cannot read that. Think about other people's eyes, right? So light background with a dark font, or dark font with a or dark background with a light font, right? So I give you these options here. I use Canva for pretty much everything at this point. Um, Fake pictures or stock pictures you can use here. You have to cite the source of your image. You can say image front or source colon Pixabay. Source colon Google stock images. Source colon my best friend at prom. Yeah, cite your mom. Source colon my grandma. Like it's okay, right? You have to cite your sources. Look at this. I've had people already turn it in and didn't cite anything. I was like, did you miss the red box with all the examples? Cite yourself. You can be the artist. Okay. And then submitting. So here's the tricky part. With submitting, you have to upload it as a picture. Now, I walk you through it, how to embed an image and just get, when people don't do it properly, I'm like, did you not read the instructions or did you not understand the instructions or you just didn't care to do either? Again, this is college, this is life. We're practicing for like it's like a fire drill, but you don't practice for a fire when there's a fire. You practice before there's a fire, and following instructions is like this. It's weird how all adulting connects to following instructions, and you don't have to be a robot. Again, we're not. I'm not saying compliance and conformity, but can anybody just drive on the wrong side of the road and think that's safe? No. Same thing in here. Practice with following the instructions. Okay. Again, then I say so. Again, step one, upload it. Step two, click reply below this message and say that's it's introducing. That's like you're putting your poster on there. And then reply to 2 or more peers by Sunday using the 1, 2, 3 rule. State positive comment more than I liked your post. Yeah, we got it. I mean, if you didn't like the post, would you really be commenting on it? So say, hey, I appreciate the effort you put into it. Or I really like the colors you chose. Be that guy. Don't be the right. And then connect with 2 things they shared. Sometimes you guys have things in common. I guarantee you there's going to be a bunch of Disney people and a bunch of people who went hiking or went to the beach and have dogs and cats. Now, the cool thing is when there's 2 people with chameleons and you're like, oh, you guys have that in common. It's so cool. So things like that. This is 5 sentences minimum. More is better. Introducing yourself. Rubric and grading. I've already commented on some that are already in there. And again, somebody put like one picture and that's not it. I did delete it and let them know, hey, I'm deleting that. So nobody responds to that because that's really not, you're not gonna, that's not the assignment, right? Then I do this. Oh, I'll change the color chart. This is hard to see. If I was just talking about blue on blue or pink on pink, this is hard to see. I'll change it. Um, Again, this is how I grade it. You can get over 20 points on this, right? But I do like parts of, the first part's worth 10. The first poster's worth 10. The replies are 5 points each. So you're like, oh my God, I like your Labubu or whatever. And that's it. That's not 5 points. You guys know what to do. I mean, it's interesting. I think sometimes you guys wait for us to tell you. I think you know what to do. But if you don't, what do? Ask a friend, read the instructions, look up some, and then come see me, right? Student support. Again, I'm here for you. I want you to be successful. I'm not one of those professors who's like, you guys are all going to fail. No, you guys are all going to pass this class and you're going to enjoy it because that's why else would you be here, right? So I'm here for you. Let me help you out. And here's my example. It's extra. I warned you. And I did put, I put it in getting to know your professor too. It's a little old. Yes, my hair was a little bit more red. This was actually, I think right after COVID or maybe right before COVID. This is, it's my baby girl. She's 13 now. She doesn't look so scrawny. She just showed up in the backyard one day because my son here left the gate open. And yes, there's my house outside of construction. He is now 18 and running the streets like an 18-year-old does. But right here, he was going to dinner at the neighbor's house because she makes Mexican rice, and I'm white and I don't know how to make that. Um, and he's like, "I look like I'm going to prom." I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah." All the personality. He is adopted mixed race, is on the spectrum, but he has my mouth, and I've taken him. Like he is me. He just didn't come from me. But yes, I made his. This is a Ross outfit. I made his hat and I made his bucket. And this was his first faux hawk, and I think he was 11. I'm a creative person. Again, I have a lot of plants. This is like my thing. And then I'm like weird and all that stuff. I made the poster. I cited myself right here. I gave explanations. I said 5 pictures. You don't have to do this. What did I put here? Like a collage, but I couldn't not put all these pictures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I collaged them because you can on your phone. It says create collage, blah, blah, download, blah, up, whatever. And then this is in Canva. Yeah, I even made this one here too, based on a lot of the other things that I saw, but I did make them. So, and yes, I call my baby Shiloh dogger. She's my dogger. Okay, you can pin discussion boards, and so you get notifications if somebody's answered you. And that's it. So you hit reply and put your thing in here. Right. And just to walk you through it, the embed looks like I described it as YouTube and notes. So click this once. You can record the media. Oh, this might be meta. So I can record. Oh, this is so weird. I'm going to record my recording and maybe it's going to use. It is going to do it. Oh, check this out. This is so weird. Okay, let's start recording. Oh, wait. What am I doing? You don't have to record for this assignment. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. So I could hear myself doing that. So upload media. So you save media and upload it. But for here, you would just make your poster and then click here and do like whatever image. So like I have an image of like my Bitmoji on here. I can always do that. Hold on, let's see. No, it's only gonna, oh, it says custom files. It only wants custom files. So again, if when you make a poster, you could do it as a Word document or you can do it as a PowerPoint. You don't have to, it could be anything that actually uploads like that. Again, mine was a Canva poster or whatever. So again, it's doable. Just give yourself the time to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the student view so we can see everything. Again, the last thing we didn't talk about is your assignments. Everything's in there. I don't want to freak you out, but I have all the assignments for the entire semester there. I mean, I don't want to do this, but I just did it. Okay. It's 15 chapters. It's like 4 months of your life. It's amazing. Again, here's the quizzes ready to go. And then your grade sheet. I don't want to show you that because it'll show you everybody's, but look, anything that has a green dot is what's ready to go. There you go. And then I always do anonymous feedback, and then I have these two surveys here. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing and see. There we go, my big face. All right. So we just spent a lot of time doing this. So you have access to this video anytime you want it. So please open it up, utilize it, put it. You don't have to put me on twice the playback or double the speed because I talk fast enough. All right. All right. So I hope this helps out all of you, some of you, none of you. And let me know if you have questions. I'm here for you. And let's make it a great semester. Reach out anytime. All right. Take care. And wait, how do I exit this? All right, cool. I'll see you soon. Hasta pronto.